After a series of burglaries at construction sites in their neighborhood, a group of Westchester neighbors banded together to catch a thief. The community has built up a neighborhood watch group that's unlike any I've ever seen before. Hundreds of members, thousands of messages, daily check-ins and citizen patrols. And earlier this month, they successfully caught a suspect who they say had been terrorizing their community for years.
So it is 3:20 a.m. and I am headed out with a group to go find our friend in the white truck.
Before dawn, a suburban mom of two and real estate developer was on the road, preparing to stake out her Westchester neighborhood to find this guy, the thief who stole tools and construction materials at the home she's building a few streets down from her own. And it didn't take long.
You guys, we found him.
Running on adrenaline, Allison, who asked us to only use her first name, and three of her neighbors spotted his pickup truck entering the neighborhood, and the chase was on.
We told 911 we were following him. We got a lights and siren response, and we got him. Amazing, our first night out.
But before we get to how Allison and her neighbors turned into amateur sleuths, we have to go back to 2017, when one of Allison's other construction sites in Westchester was burglarized. Her security camera captured this grainy video of a pickup truck with black rims and a distinct black trim down the side. That image stuck with Allison.
People would say on the neighborhood watch group, I got robbed, I got hit. People would post on Nextdoor, and I would say, do you know what car the person was in? And constantly they'd say a white truck, a Ford truck. And I was like making a mental note, like, oh, it's that same guy.
Then on June 29th, another one of her construction sites was burglarized, followed by another at a second site on July 3rd. Again, the suspect drove off in what appeared to be the same pickup truck.
What is that like to see the video and see this guy just repeatedly stealing from you?
It's really frustrating because it seems like there are no consequences and there's nothing we can do to stop him because he's using bolt cutters to cut the locks on the gates. He's cutting the fences, the construction fences, and pulling them up and going underneath.
Allison and her neighbors filed police reports, but without a license plate, they knew it was unlikely the suspect would be caught.
At what point did you say enough is enough? I'm going to find this guy.
Well, after this happened here, I started talking to a lot of the other victims, and I started to say, I'm ready to go out and find this guy myself. And we all kind of said, oh, haha.
But she wasn't kidding. And three other neighbors offered to park at the main entry points of the community and wait.
And as soon as I turn off my engine, I see the guy coming. I got so excited because I kind of like, wow, what the chances? We only been there 15 minutes.
It was this neighbor who asked us not to use his name who spotted the pickup. And he followed it.
It's probably 90% luck and 10% good plan, but we got really lucky.
However it happened, their mission was a success. Multiple police cars responded and cornered the pickup. Inside, a suspect, matching the images captured on Allison's security cameras and all the videos and photos she was sent from neighbors who also had their construction sites burglarized.
So to actually see his face and put a face with this person who's been terrorizing our neighborhood for so long, it was a great feeling actually to see that, okay, finally they've got the guy.
And once they had the suspect's name, Allison did a Google search and found this Facebook post from the El Segundo Police Department back in 2019, in which they arrested the same suspect for having a saw, burglary tools such as bolt cutters, and a box of men's watches in his pickup truck. Turns out the suspect has a long rap sheet with arrests for crimes like vehicle theft, spousal abuse, drug possession, and as you may have guessed, burglary.
And then we found that he had been incarcerated from end of last July until end of May this year. And all of a sudden the light bulb went off. Well, that's why we had a break from him. And that's why it just seemed like it was heating up. He had just gotten out of prison. And then June, July, he's been back the same place doing the same thing.
Her advice for other communities struggling with a spike in crime: organize and communicate.
But we have block by block chats. And so if something is going on one of these streets, everybody gets an immediate alert. And it really makes a difference because we are here immediately.
The morning after Allison and her helpers caught the burglary suspect, that WhatsApp chat was buzzing with comments like, "You guys are amazing. This is epic." And Allison, you are your own sheriff.
You've never been a detective.
No,
Never worked in law enforcement.
no. You know, it's kind of fun. Maybe in my retirement, I'll become a detective.
Well, that suspect will be in court at the end of the month, and Allison plans to be there. For now, he's behind bars being held on a $100,000 bail. And if any of these people look familiar to you, about a year ago, I did a story with this same neighborhood watch group, basically describing them as like a neighborhood watch on steroids.
Yeah.
And they had effectively cut down the in-home burglaries just by basically being visible. If someone says, hey, there's a suspicious car on this street, someone will go out and start watering their lawn. Because if there's a presence, usually people will just keep on moving.
Going.
Yeah.
I think some other neighborhoods are going to want to hire them.
I know, right?
They need to write the guidebook.
Consulting business
I'm
for
very
neighborhood watch.
impressed. Very effective in keeping their neighborhood safe. All right, thank you, Christine.